Hi, thanks for joining me. The other day when I had made my video with the near-death experience, I got asked a really interesting question because I had said in my interview that there is no judgment on the other side, meaning when we've passed over, we don't have an ego, so we understand people's situations on a lot higher awareness type level where we do not have to judge another person. It's almost like we understand why they are like they are. We understand their hurt that they have gone through. And so we don't feel the need to judge them. But that doesn't mean there is no judgment at all. Because then, as this person said, if there was no judgment, it would be free for all, wouldn't it? You'd be allowed to do whatever you liked and have no consequences. So there are many laws which all our souls are connected to those laws. You may have heard of the law of attraction. Well, with the judgment, there is a law of retribution where you get, once you've passed, you get to review your life. And from what I have researched and heard with a lot of near-death experiences, the judgment comes from within our own soul. So it's like we review if we have caused pain to somebody else, if we have caused any form of suffering, and also when we have caused pain or suffering to somebody else, we are also feeling that pain ourselves. So we may not feel it on earth. You may insult somebody, you may attack somebody and not feel that pain that you created in that moment while you're on earth in the physical body. But when you have passed, you will feel it. You will know exactly what that other person experienced that you inflicted towards them. So that is the form of judgment. You are judging yourself, because I believe God allows us to judge ourselves. It's not like a judgment from God, from other spiritual energies. They allow us to sit with being accountable and knowledgeable for what we have created. And I also find, for years I used to, like, talking about karma, I used to say to somebody, that guy over there, he can do whatever he likes. He's hurt people, and he's destroyed people's lives, and he's been nasty, and he gets away with it all the time. If I said one bad thing about somebody else behind their back, I would suddenly walk out the door and fall over, or I'd burn my finger on the stove, or I would get like this instant karma. And for a very, very long time, I used to think, that's not fair. Like, why do I have to have this instant karma come back to me? And that person gets away with it. And it dawned on me one day, after doing a lot of this work, that my soul has chosen to forgive and apologize in that moment, so that I don't have to hold on to that. So if I said something horrible about another person and I got an instant retribution while I'm here on earth, and I got to feel that pain back, what I just caused, that I am clearing that instantly, so that when I have passed, I'm not carrying a whole bag of stuff that I've been hanging on to from hurting other people. So I realized that's why it happens so quickly, because my soul has made an agreement that if I'm going to hurt somebody else, I don't want to carry that hurt myself. So I will have an instant punishment in return, and it's to clear it. Whether other souls don't choose that, I don't know, but that's just the way I have experienced it myself. So yes, there is a judgment for ourselves, but it's, when I say on the other side there is no judgment, it's like I can look at, because you're so connected with everybody, you see things out of the ego. You see things from a much higher awareness. So if on earth I was looking at somebody thinking, wow, they're really narcissistic, they're a bully to people, they hurt people's feelings. If I looked at them only from the surface level, I would form an opinion and I would form a judgment of what I believed they were all about, coming from my perception. But when I pass over and I have no ego, my higher self can see why they are like that. And there's an acceptance. I see that they didn't get love when they were a child growing up. They were hurt. They had a trauma. They didn't get love. And they developed this personality as a way of protecting themselves. So it's still kind of like a judgment, I guess, but it's not a judgment like we make on earth. It's coming from a higher consciousness. So it's more of a compassionate, understanding view of who they are and what they are. When we're in the physical body and we observe somebody else, we make a judgment from our thoughts and our perception. So I just felt like I needed to clarify that it's not a fact of we can just go around and hurt people and do whatever we wish. Yes, there is a retribution for what we do to others, and it comes back. So if you are somebody that has found if you have an instant karma, or if you do something to someone else and it instantly comes back to bite you on the bum sort of thing, that's your soul trying to clear it here while you're on earth, rather than having to carry it into your afterlife. You haven't agreed that if you're going to cause harm or hurt to somebody else, it's going to come back to you instantly. If that doesn't happen to you and you get away with it, then there's going to be a later time in your life, probably in your afterlife, where you'll have to review the way in which you have dealt with people and treated people, and if it's come from a place of love or if it's come from a place of you being hurt and wanting them to feel your hurt. So you're projecting that. So yeah, I just thought I wanted to clarify that. And if you have any questions around anything I've just talked about, please send me a comment and I'll see if I can answer it for you. Thanks so much for listening to me.